Hi, I'm Dave Rossum. I'm the founder of Rossum Electro Music, and I'm here to tell you about our latest product, the Assimilator, which is our new sampling module. The module I'll be showing you is a prototype, so the screen in the product will be quite different from what you see there. That is just for debugging and demonstration of the sound, but you'll get a chance through the speaker to hear what the Assimilator can do in the next few minutes. Then my colleague Marco will demonstrate some of our other modules. Assimilator is a sampler, so I have programmed into it a number of different sounds. Let me fix that. I have to correct one thing here. Take it back up to... Now where's that to go? We have a trumpet sound, a piano sound, a violin sound, some drums,
despite our best efforts,
some speech,
shortages of memory,
and some synthesizer waveforms of various sorts. So those are the sounds that are stored in the sample module. You would load these off of a SD card like this, and you can play all 8 at once in the final module. I'll only be playing one sound at a time today. You've got the typical ways to manipulate a sound. If I look at our trumpet sound up here, for example, I made the same mistake here again. Let me get this back up here. I can just play the trumpet sound straightforwardly, or I can gate it, and all of the parameters we'll talk about can be voltage controlled through these 3 control voltage inputs for each channel independently. So a given control voltage can control one or many parameters, and you'll be able to program that in the module. For example, the decay time, when you gate the sound off, can be very quick, very slow, or somewhere in between. Other things you can modulate, it's a stereo module. The output is left and right stereo. If you want to sample stereo sounds, you'll sample those into 2 separate channels, a left and a right, and pan those appropriately. If you want to sample a monophonic sound, then you can position that wherever you want in the stereo field. The outputs are the individual channels as well as the panable stereo output. And the pan control, once again, is voltage controlled. I can start our drum loop, pan it left, pan it right to the other speaker there, or move it around with an LFO. You don't have a stereo feed there, so you can't quite hear that effect. Other parameters we can add, with a trumpet up here, I can put it in a loop mode, so the sound will sustain. And an interesting thing to do is to control that loop length with a voltage. I have that set up on the violin here, so when I put it into the loop will modulate with this triangle wave over here, and you'll be able to hear so that's an interesting form of modulation. Another form, we have programmable bit depth here, and that it doesn't simply jump between 6 and 7 and 8 bits. Instead, it's continuously variable. So if I take the speech sample here,
despite our best efforts, shortages of marijuana are now being reported. The U.S. military has more than tripled the use of drugs among its personnel since 1980. Our goal is to expand drug trafficking at all levels of government and in the private sector. Help us.
But the most interesting thing we can do here is what we call phase modulation. If we take our trumpet sound, now we can vary the pitch of the trumpet because it's a sampler. And we can do things like FM, exponential FM, linear FM, but doing phase modulation, I can take the piano sample and modulate the trumpet sample with the piano. So let's do that. I'll set the thing up to use this knob to adjust what we call the modulation index. So there's the pure trumpet. And we can hear that modulation coming in. Now this gets most interesting when we start playing with different pitches. So I'll save the pitch here, or save the modulation index. Let's then go back and adjust the pitch of the trumpet down. And now let's adjust the pitch of the piano. Oops. I should have gone back and saved that pitch for the trumpet. So that's just scratching the surface of phase modulations. As far as I know, that hasn't been done with samplers before, and we're very excited about that sound. So that's a quick tour of a simulator. Now let me hand you over to my colleague Marco, and he can tell you about Morpheus and Control Forge and Evolution.